Hey, what's up guys? Kevin the Tech Ninja here, and today I'm reviewing the AirPods Pro. I'm not an audiophile type of guy, but I am just someone that listens to music on my daily commute. I listen to podcasts, I work out with them, I practice my golf swing. I think I have a pretty good idea of what I like. So I'm not gonna break down the hertz and the lows and the mids too much, but I'm gonna talk about how I use them every single day. Before I get too far ahead of myself, make sure you hit subscribe if you like this type of content. It's real, it's relaxed, I have a conversation with you. So let's begin with a little bit of history. I purchased the AirPods 1, the Beats Pro, and now the AirPods Pro. And I'm not gonna compare them all to each other, not like a big compilation, but I may reference each pair in the video. So the AirPods Pro still connect to an Apple device like the other products. You open the case and you have your phone nearby, and from there, it automatically pairs. And even after you're paired, you just flip open the case and then it connects right to your last device, whether it's a phone or if it's your computer. So the only time I have to go into settings is that if I've connected to my computer last, flip open the case, it looks for my computer, then it may go back to my phone. But if I want to go to the phone, I do have to go into settings and switch the audio connection. The price is $250, and right then and there, that turns a lot of people away, and I totally get it. That is a lot of money. However, it is using real active noise cancellation, and there's a lot of other technology baked into these AirPods, which actually sort of justifies the really high price. And we'll talk about those features in a little bit. From a design perspective, I really like the AirPods Pro. And also from a side note, I'm going to say AirPods from here on out, unless I'm referencing the old ones, then I will make that distinct difference. The AirPods case is a bit bigger than previous versions. It's a bit wider than before, but not as tall. It's definitely still pocketable. On the front, it has an LED that gives you the status of the AirPods. So green means they're active and orange means it's charging, and so on and so forth. The AirPods just slide right into the case, and that's like how they charged before. Now, speaking of charging, I found that you get around 1 hour of battery life per 5 minutes of charge within the case. And the battery case charges pretty quick too. So on a single charge, I tested it on my last flight, and I had 4 solid hours of listening time. But once you activate one of the modes like active noise cancellation or the transparency mode, then you're losing about a half hour of that. So I was at about 3.5 hours of total listening time. So for me, that's enough for most workouts, flights, or any type of activity I want to listen to the AirPods with. But of course, you can just slap them right back in the case, get a quick charge, and put them back in your ear. But for an everyday scenario, this is something you may plug in every other day or something you plug in every day. But what I usually do is just take it out of my pocket and I drop it right here on my Nomad charging base. And then from here, I wake up in the morning, everything is at 100%. By any means, Nomad is not a sponsor to this video by any means, but I really do love their product. So if you are in the market for wireless charging products, check out Nomad. I really love their equipment. The AirPods are also much smaller than previous models. The stem is much smaller, and it just overall looks and feels better. The shape also helps them stay in my ear, and they also include 3 sizes of tips. And even built right into the app, there's a way to figure out if these are the right tips for your ear based on how much sound leaves your ear. So you run this little test, and then it starts to play music, and then it tells you if the tips are the right fit for you. And you may have your left ear bigger than your right ear. And that's sort of common. I didn't know that your ear canals are different sizes. So for me, the default settings were completely fine, but I had a scenario where I didn't have it in all the way. And then you can see that it told me that one tip did not fit correctly. This black part here, it's actually a grill that allows airflow, which should definitely help with comfortability. It's water and sweat resistant, IPX4. So to test it, I did take it to a sauna for 20 minutes and everything was completely fine. It was just wet. So it should work through your workouts or if you're any type of rain, but I wouldn't expect you to be able to submerge it or do anything that is unexpected for AirPods or headphones in general. The stem also has touch sensitive controls. So if you tap once, it plays, pauses, or answers a call. Tap twice gets you to skip forward. Tap 3 times, you skip back a song, and then you press and hold, and it switches between noise cancellation and transparency mode. And the touch controls are a little bit sensitive, so sometimes when I'm trying to switch modes, I accidentally tap and I don't hold, and it pauses the music. But overall, the touch controls are fine, and I have no issues with it, but some people feel a little bit different with it. So it's one of those your miles may vary type of thing, but I think if you give it a good week of usage, you'll start to get the hang of it overall. I find the AirPods to be super comfortable, unlike the previous models. And of course, it's gonna be those air tips that smudge right into your ears versus the plastic that was shoved into your ears from before. Now, I still find the Beats Pro to be the most comfortable because it also has this ear hook, so I don't feel like the tips need to be shoved in as hard. You have the ear hook to keep them in place. So for working out, I did find the Beats Pro just a little bit better. Although the AirPods 2 didn't come out when working out, there were times where they start to slide back a little bit, and you can definitely feel the difference. The noise cancellation, the transparency mode doesn't work as great unless it's all the way in your ear. And during workouts, it still found a way to kind of smudge out a little bit, and you kind of had to, encourage it to go back in. Did not have that with the Beats Pro. So I do have to mention some audio observations, and these AirPods sound good. I found that most of my music sounded balanced, and I listened to an array of music from Ellie Goulding to Little Brother to Nas to Fats Domino, and even some Kurt Franklin when I'm not being a heathen. I found everything sounded great. Now, some may find it's heavy on the bass, but that's sort of how I like my music. I don't think it's too bassy, but I could definitely see people complaining about that. Now, for podcasts, I thought the audio was rich and it didn't sound muffled at all. But once again, these are my non-professional observations as a non-audiophile. Now, one thing about the previous AirPods that was one of my favorite features is that the sound quality. So when taking calls, I would routinely use my AirPods, and it was a great experience. So for the AirPods Pro, I wanted to ensure I had the same experience because the stems are smaller, so it's not as close to your mouth. So how does it sound? Here's an audio example that I recorded directly to my phone from the AirPods. I'm currently sitting at my desk, and here's how it sounds. Does it sound pretty good to you? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. So here's the second audio test. I'm currently walking down the sidewalk, and there's a major road, I would say about 30 feet from me. So there's some pretty decent traffic noise. So the audio should be sounding a little bit different than my desk, but overall, what do you think? And for what it's worth, I've taken around maybe 6 hours of phone calls in general with the AirPods Pro, and I've never had any complaints. No one has asked me if I'm in a noisy room, or they haven't asked me to speak up or anything like that. I've had really good experience with them taking calls. As I mentioned before, the big update on these are going to be the two new listening modes, the active noise cancellation and transparency mode. Active noise cancellation, or ANC, plays a white noise to block out additional sound. Once it turns on, the background sort of drops off, becomes more muffled. It doesn't become silent, but it is less loud than it was before. But once you combine that with playing music, then you definitely do not hear any background sound at all, which is great for many scenarios that I could think of. Flying on an airplane, trying to get some sleep, play a little audiobook, and then you have that going. There's a lot of ways that you can use active noise cancellation to just make an experience better. So for active noise cancellation, I did find it to do a really great job. It was better than I expected, but don't expect it to be like your Bose over-the-ear cans or anything like that. That is going to be a different level, but this is portable on-the-go active noise cancellation, which I found worked pretty good for a flight. Transparency mode is completely different. It's using microphones on the AirPods, and those microphones pick up outside sound and then pipe it directly to your ears. So if you're in a scenario where you need to know what's going on around you while you want to listen to music, then that is probably going to be the mode you're going to do. So for example, let's say you're someone that runs on the street, and there's cars, you need to hear the cars. Transparency mode would be best because you can hear cars as they approach, so you don't get blindsided and hit by a vehicle. As I showed you guys before, you can toggle it with a press, but you can also do it via the software too in the Bluetooth settings. Overall, are these worth $250? I would say that is a tough sell for every single person. If you're a person that wants that quality of audio and you want those listening modes, then for Apple, this is the best option you have. And it's a really good option too. If you're in the market for AirPods and you're just looking at the older ones, I would pause and tell you that the AirPods Pro are so much better than the AirPods 1 and AirPods 2. And it's something you should really consider and really think about and see if there's a way you can increase your budget from $179 to $250. I know it's a big ask for a lot of people to increase the budget that much, but I think they are that much better than the previous AirPods. Apple products are now on Amazon, so I can leave an Amazon link below. So if you want to pick it up from Amazon, be sure to do so. I do get a little bit of kickback and it helps me fund my channel and buy crazy artwork for my wall. So if you're still not sure you want to spend that much money, I totally get it. I'm going to leave a link down below to some other wireless earbuds and some that are much cheaper, and maybe those would be just good enough for you. Anyways, guys, I'm Kevin the Tech Ninja. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.